All right, we are recording. Welcome, everybody. It is August 12th, 2020, and this is the weekly SIG Contributor Experience meeting. Let's get started. Welcome in recurring business. The Kubernetes Code of Conduct is in effect, so please be excellent to each other, and remember that we are recording and putting these meetings on YouTube. Is there anybody new on the call? Any new intros? I look and I see all familiar faces. So we can go ahead and move on to events subproject. Office hours, not much to say other than we'll be going next week. So that's when we're going live. Community meeting. Jenny, are you able to talk?
Yeah, I'm able to talk.
Okay, so I've got, first of all, how's it going with scheduling everybody? Because I know we go live is it next week?
Yeah, so I have all the presenters and one slide deck, and I will follow up with the others this week. So either today or tomorrow to get the rest of the slides.
Okay.
Otherwise, the documentation is really good. So
excellent. That is good to hear. Feel free to edit it as often as you can. So we did have a meeting with the chairs and TLs yesterday, and we did get some feedback that the meeting is a little bit too on the rails and they kind of missed the open discussion part. So I had an idea. We're only doing 3 SIGs this time, right?
Yes.
Can you add a 10-minute block that's open agenda discussion? And then I think what we'll do is when we send the reminder to the list, we'll tell everybody, hey, we got some, I'll work with you on this on the verbiage if you want. Hey, everybody, we got some feedback from people that maybe the meeting is too, just people reading off their slides kind of thing. So we're adding a 10-minute block of discussion. And the co-chairs who recommended this told me that they would be willing to submit some topics for discussion to kind of kick it off. Okay. So let's, I don't know, maybe people will argue about sidecars or something. Any comments there or any feedback people would like to add? When they said that, I was like, fair enough. The meeting used to be a lot more chaotic, and then we kind of tightened it up. Did we maybe swing the pendulum too far one way? I don't know. Does anyone have any strong opinions on that?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's a bit like a Scrum review, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea. Let's try it out.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we'll just have to, you know how you send a reminder to the list when you send the empty agenda? That might be a good time to maybe edit that text this time to be like, hey, if you have something you want to discuss, perhaps a cap or something lively like that. And then we can figure that out offline. All right. Any questions for Jenny or anything on the community meeting? Thank you for volunteering. That looks like it's rocking and rolling. Contributor Summit, Bob?
So we were still sort of up in the air about hosting another contributor summit just because a lot of people have the virtual event fatigue. But after discussion in yesterday's chair and TL meeting, people did want to have one, but they did not want to deal with pre-recorded content or recorded content. Everyone is missing the social aspect of the summit, and whether it be like the SIG Friday type thing, or just sort of like randomly organized people get together, drop into pods, like like Slack breakout rooms, or
can you explain what SIG Friday is for people before you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What about doing a straight up unconference? Well, I should save this for some meetings.
Yeah. So the SIG Friday was just like a bunch of sort of contributors get together and hop on like a call and just sort of like chill out and, talk about, might be Kubernetes related things. It might just be life things. It's more so just a social chat.
Yeah.
And those have been going on for a little bit now. But yeah, they were interested in something like that. Maybe even something a little bit more organized. I'm totally blanking on the name of it, but George, what was the name of the thing that you were using for like games? Do you remember for?
I found this platform. I did something over the weekend for our Code House thing where it was a web service that kind of put everyone into groups, and you played Jeopardy, and there was like a quiz show and a host and that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, I hate these. When you go in these things, you're like, oh no, forced fun. I hate these things. But it was actually pretty fun. And I saw that Duffy and some of the SysDig folks are doing live like Cards Against DevOps stuff. So I was thinking there's got to be something in between there that like would be fun, like maybe a trivia challenge or something that we could maybe put together that's like a lot of fun and would let people actually get to know each other instead of just talking about pods all day.
Yeah, with that, like that, I think we can definitely organize and get something together for.
Yeah, this is for North America though, right?
Yes.
Not next week.
Yes,
Okay.
this is for North America.
Gotcha.
Or sometime in the later half of this year. It doesn't have to be around KubeCon. In fact, it'd probably be a good idea to not be around KubeCon.
Yeah. Have any of you been going to I call them SIG Fridays with Stephen Augustus? Because it seems like I have a conflict, so I can't go, but it seems like a lot of people are finding value in that.
Is there a calendar invite for that? I keep remembering to join right when everybody's signed off.
It's mostly Ping Steven.
Yeah, I don't.
It's an unofficial
think he's purposely
thing.
like not making it an official thing, which I guess is fine. But I don't know. All right. Anything else on contributor summits? Good. Steering committee election. Josh, fill us in, and Ehor's here as well. I don't know if Jace is here. Okay.
Okay. We have all the pieces. The announcement was supposed to have gone out about 30 minutes ago, but Google Groups is doing something weird.
Yeah,
so
it is
we'll probably go out right after this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So within an hour we're opening both the call for nominations and at this point people can check voters MD and call for exceptions. We're expecting a lot more exceptions than we usually get because steering committee voted this year to only automatically send ballots to people who are org members, as well as having their 50 contributions. Actually, what would be interesting to see is how many exception requests we get on that basis, right? How many people are there who have 50 contributions, who are paying attention to KDev, but have not applied for org membership?
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to follow up with every single one of them and say, hey, well, you're here. Here's how you apply for org membership.
Yeah. And I suspect some of you who are relatively newish looking at this group might not be org members or have not applied.
Yeah.
So I recommend you fill out the form if you're doing work.
Yeah. But for people who have been following along, we're starting earlier this year than we did last year. But that's actually so we can have longer periods in each phase of the cycle, because with COVID and other things, people are not paying as much attention. So we'll have 3 weeks of nominations and exceptions, and then we'll have 3 weeks of election period.
Yep. All right. So after this, let's dig into Google Groups again and find out why it didn't. I just checked the list. It didn't send, so something happened there. Any other questions for Josh in elections? Mentoring. Ehor, can you do your section since Paris isn't here? On Playground, GSOC, and Outreachy?
I can make an update on GSOC and Community Bridge. Probably
Sure.
we should add Community Bridge as a regular item here as well. Not so many news compared to the last week. So with Google Summer of Code, we are at month's number 3. So by the end of this month, we should have mentees graduated. Or
is this
not.
for Community Bridge? Sorry, I'm trying to get the notes right.
No, sorry, this is for Google Summer of Code.
Okay.
So Google Summer of Code is in progress, and by the end of this month, we'll have the program finished, and we'll have the names of the mentees who have successfully passed the program this year. And for Community Bridge, not so many news comparing to the last week, but as a reminder, we've closed the program, the Q2 cycle last week. We had around 20 mentees graduated, and 2 of them are the Kubernetes mentees. So we had 2 Kubernetes mentees participating in the program, and both of them have successfully graduated from it.
Okay. Any questions for Ehor on this? Ehor, if you could check the notes after, make sure I didn't butcher it too much.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. And if Paris Ross, no worries. And if do you have the link? I can plop it in chat again. There it is. And when Paris says she is coming, so when she comes back, we'll cycle back to meet our contributors. Anything else? Any questions for Ehor? All right, community management, need
Wait.
to know chairs. Oh,
I have one more mentoring thing.
sure.
So 2 days ago, we posted a call for volunteers for new contributor workshop
Okay.
to KDev. If anybody didn't see that, because out of, I think, 16 segments that we have for new contributor workshop material, we only have 4 of them assigned. So there is tons of options for somebody to come in and record a segment or document a segment or both.
Please. So let me put a call to action in the notes here. Please help us find volunteers who can help us record this content.
Might also be worth sending out that same email to the leads mailing list.
Yeah. You know what? We should put that in the need to know chairs TLs as well. I'll take an item to do that. We sent 17 already, so let's say volunteer. So for the next thing, we're telling the TL. So volunteers for new contributor workshop, election news, anything else that we should be pinging the chairs and tech leads while I'm here? All right.
Not much I can think of at this point in time.
All right. APAC coordinator update. I don't think they met, so we could skip that. GitHub management, Bob.
So 2 big things. One, we are at this point very close to archiving Incubator finally. There is 1 repo left, Cube AWS. Right now, it is it's going to be bounced back to the CNCF slightly because the maintainers of Cube AWS would like us to migrate the repo to their new organization instead of them forking it, mostly to preserve issues and things like that. So we're going to see, just get the CNCF to sign off, hey, is that a valid thing we can do, or should they fork it and sort of disconnect the fork? But once that's done, Incubator is done.
Yay.
So it's only taken 2.5 years. Other big thing is that we now have 3 new membership coordinators. These are the people that handle people that are applying for org membership. So big sort of shout out to Arnaud, Nabrun, and Savitha for stepping up to that role. Beyond that, not too much at this point in time.
Dope. All right, Slack infra, no updates. Things are running just fine. Contributor documentation, contributor guide. I have a PR sitting on disk that I haven't applied, that I haven't PR'd yet, but I'm hoping to push that today. Developer guide, Eric and Joel, welcome back.
Thanks. There's a leaf blower. I hope it's not horrible.
Can't even hear it.
I have the big PR on the developer guide that has been kind of waiting for review for a while, and I started bugging people about it yesterday to see if I can get a review on that. And then also currently I am working on the, so I didn't know this a couple months ago, but the Cube test is being replaced by Cube test 2. So there's a big chunk of the developer guide that's devoted to Cube test that is soon to be outdated. So I'm working on Cube test 2 getting started stuff in the developer guide, which is fun because there's no documentation for Cube test 2 yet. So I'm working with Amit, who's one of the developers of that, and writing that, and I'm hoping to get that done by the end of this week. It's there's a lot of material to cover and a lot of guesswork, which I guess would be less guesswork if I spent more time reading the code. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Dope. Good.
It's a fun project. So that's where I am.
Any questions? Joel, you got anything?
No, and I can beat your leaf blower with the people who are installing the solar on the top of my house and using impact devices, so I'm going to stay on mute as much as I can.
Alrighty.
It's okay. I got people across the street that are pouring concrete, so I think we're all in the same boat.
And I have a beagle, so it's a
Ah.
thing.
Um,
All right, cool.
Actually, one quick thing. If anyone is online that wouldn't mind giving a look at the open development PR, like, because I don't have a good Windows box to test that with, that sort of thing would be appreciated.
Which PR? Say it again, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, can you link it?
Yeah, I'm getting it right now.
I have a good Windows box.
Is that a thing?
Got one too. I don't want to do anything on it though.
Drop it in the notes.
All right, I'll try it.
All right. Anything else on contributor site, Bob?
The big thing is that hoping to launch for next week, KubeCon. Seems if we can get that out the door. I know like it'll just be good timing wise. All the DNS stuff is done. Just need to hook it all together. The sort of last remaining bits are to shore up a few parts of the contributor guide, which George is working on, and then plug in like the analytics code and write a launch blog post associated with it.
Yeah.
But those are all fairly those are achievable tasks.
Another multi-year project bites the dust, but not yet. All right. Open mic discussion. Anyone join us that's new? That wants to introduce himself? I don't think so. Diablo Rojo, you've been here before, right?
Yep, we've been here before.
Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. Do we really want to review the project board? I was hoping to not do this because we're all kind of slammed right now and KubeCon's coming up. So let's just go to the open agenda. Community meeting schedule. So Paris wanted to do this, but she's not here yet. So I'll have to offline with her. Heads up, SIG UX. SIG UX pinged me. They want to hop in next week and have a discussion about GitHub labels. They have questions about how different SIGs are using labels, and I guess they're going SIG to SIG. So if you care about that, please show up next week for that. So just a heads up. And then the last bit, KubeCon and Cloud Native Con is next week. Like I mentioned last week, for a lot of people, they're kind of getting the it might be their first speaking engagement, and they're kind of not getting the awesome good parts of KubeCon with us being there and being supportive. So I know we're all burned out on virtual conferences, but if you could be supportive to those people, help them out, tweet about their sessions, and just generally be yourselves, that would be great. Do we have anything? I see Lori just joined late. We have. Hey,
hello.
We just hit the end of the agenda, so you have something. You have like 5 seconds to decide if you want to talk about it.
Oh, thanks. Well, it's my fault, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm doing stuff, but I don't know if any of it's super urgent. I will say one thing.
So this is one of the reasons I really like moving to this weekly cadence. Mm-hmm. It's totally okay to have a 20-minute meeting, and then like instead of doing that.
Yeah, so let's just wrap it.
Did you get the one thing I did want to ask is, did you get the DevStats meetings are now on Monday? I haven't looked at my calendar.
Yeah, and
okay,
I missed the one today because I was in an important discussion and didn't feel comfortable leaving that. So
no worries. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I know Paris said she was going to join, but she must have gotten held up. So we'll sync with her on Slack. Anyone else got anything before I give you back like 40 minutes? Ooh, world record. All right. Sweet. Stay safe, everyone, and we'll see everyone next week. See you on Slack.
Bye, everybody.
Later.